What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel and you check out the content. And with that being said, man, let's get started. Now, as you can see, my in the title of my video, right, is LeBron James haters are wasting time and breath, right? So even before we even get started, I just want to point out that I don't think that any of these people up here are LeBron James haters. Now, fans of LeBron James might think different because, anytime you speak against LeBron James, people think that you hating and you trying to, you just trying to bring LeBron James down, right? But for the most part, I just think that these are people who love basketball. And if you've noticed, like all of these people are at least in their 40s. And so what that means is they have history to reflect on. Like these people had an opportunity to watch Mike play, Kobe play, and probably even Bird and Magic, right? And so if you had the opportunity to watch Mike play, Kobe play, Bird and Magic, then you know about basketball as far as like what it takes to win championships. You know how excuse me, you know how great basketball players carry themselves, how they conduct themselves in public, and how they even respond to questions in the interviews, right? Everything you because of the history, you have to you got that history to fall back on. And so that's why when you draw a comparison, like when they say LeBron James is not this and not that, and you just have so many people speaking up against LeBron James. Recently, you had what's the guy named Ray Daniels, right? And I'm not too much really familiar with Ray Daniels. I know he's in the music industry, but look, Ray Daniels said some things about LeBron James that went viral, and it had a lot of truth to it, right? When he said that LeBron James, he hate the game because of what LeBron James did to the game, right? And that wasn't a personal attack. It was based on what LeBron James has brung and did on the court, right? And so now the part he said about LeBron James not having a daddy, I know that probably rubbed people the wrong way. When he says that he liked Kobe because Kobe had a daddy, Mike had a daddy. And a few years ago, I did a video when I pointed out the same thing. Even when you take Magic, he come from a two-parent household. And I'm gonna go into why that makes a difference. Magic come from a two-parent household. Larry Bird, although his father unalived himself, Larry Bird him and his father had a close relationship, and his father had a heavy influence on Larry Bird's life and the way that Larry Bird actually carried himself, right? So then you go to Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant come from a two-parent household. And Kobe Bryant, and it's also his father, Jelly Bean Bryant, played professional basketball. So that influence from his father weighed heavy on him. Then you look at Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan also comes from a two-parent household. And, people knew that, like, Michael Jordan he idolized his father, right? And so now the difference is between LeBron, and LeBron can't help the fact that he don't, his father wasn't in his life. But the difference is there's a different in the way you respond to life and your values in life when you have a father in your life. If your father in your life, you're used to, you're gonna work for everything you get. Your fathers, most of the time, fathers are gonna instill that into you. And so when the NBA put LeBron James in a position where he was just anointed the GOAT without having to work for it, and that would not have been able to, it would have been a reason for LeBron James to stop and think about that. Like, why? And no free lunches, right? Why are these people giving me this or giving me that, and I haven't even earned it? And so that's part of what I think the influence of fathers will have, right? Then you look at what May said about LeBron James. And again, what May said about LeBron James wasn't even personal. It was about basketball. and his expectations as from a fan standpoint, right? He said that Mike never had any quit in him. You know, Mike never allowed a series to go past 5 games. And that's not talking bad about LeBron. Mace just basically stated the truth, right? And he said some other things that right now, you know, I'm not even going to get into or you know. And so let's look at what Jeannie Buss said. Jeannie Buss said that LeBron James was ungrateful. And his him and Clutch management basically got on their nerves. You know, they was a headache to deal with. Now, this could be true of a whole lot of like athletes and famous, you know, basketball players and stuff like that. But what I will tell you is that if you're worth that trouble as a basketball player and you're worth that headache as a basketball player, then teams will put up with you until you are not worth that. And then once they see that you're not worth it, then this is when stuff like that happens. So there wasn't a personal attack from Jeannie Buss. I think it was her personal observation, and it comes from her dealing with, you know, she dealt with Kobe. You know, she was around Magic. I don't know how young she was, like when Magic was playing. She probably was young, but she was around Magic and Kareem, you know. And so she was familiar with professional athletes and sometimes how they can be, you know, a little bit over the top, and sometimes these guys can be hard to deal with. But Magic had 5 rings. Kobe had 5 rings. I'm not sure how many Kareem had. I think he had 4 or 5 rings. But, you know, so that means that whatever little imperfections they brought to the table was worth it. And you know, it paid off in the long run. So let's get to Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett recently went viral for saying that, you know, when he went against what LeBron said about like today's NBA being tougher than yesterday's NBA because of the pace of the game, right? And he really just broke it down and said that, you know, these guys just don't prepare themselves for the kind of grueling NBA season that they're going to face, you know, throughout the season. And that wasn't a personal attack, but that's just coming from somebody who loved the game, somebody who has something to basically refer back to, and just really just straighten that, you know, correct that statement that LeBron James made. So, like I said, none of these people are LeBron James haters. And so you can't really, you know, and it just seems like that you really can't say anything about LeBron James without you being a LeBron James or labeled a LeBron James hater, when I don't think that that's true. I think that all of these people love basketball from different perspectives, right? Like I said, Jeannie Buss was always looking at it from an ownership and management type perspective. Mace and the guy Ray Daniels, like, they're fans of the sport. You know, they're like the regular person like us. We just love the sport, and we want to see. We're used to. It's almost like fans of sport. Like when you get to see Kobe play, you want to see your GOAT or people who are going to be in that GOAT conversation put out the kind of effort that Kobe put out, right? And then Kevin Garnett is looking at it from a perspective like he played the game. Kevin Garnett was very passionate about the game. And, you know, I remember hearing people say about Kevin Garnett that he practiced like he was still trying out for the team. And this was like years into Kevin Garnett's career. Like he's still getting up and down the court and woofing at people, and, you know, like he's trying out for the team. And so that just shows like his love and his passion for the game, no matter what goes on, like as far as like the business aspect. You know, when he get out there on that court, he's just doing what he loved to do. And that, to fans, that came across. Like, that's one of the reasons why I like Kevin Garnett, you know, because of his passion for the game. Now, sometimes people might have felt like he went overboard, right? But I would prefer to see a guy push it to the edge and even go overboard sometime with that passion, you know, especially as a fan and as a person myself who really like basketball. I would prefer to see somebody do that than somebody who don't show the passion, and somebody who don't push the envelope from time to time. You know, that is what makes fans really like fans really get close or really endear themselves to athletes who go all out like that. So yeah, man, these people, I don't see any of these people as haters. I just see these people just as fans who really love the game of basketball, and they don't want you to just be people saying, well, this is great basketball, when everybody know that it's not great basketball. And so for the LeBron James fans out there, man, I just urge y'all to just go ahead and just study the game. Go back and look at old films of like Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and Kobe Bryant, man. And just it's kind of hard if you're not living in that environment, that atmosphere, to get but if you see how physical and how passionate these guys was, Isaiah Thomas, Charles Barkley, man, it just was a lot of great basketball played like in the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s, right? A lot of great basketball. And so what we're seeing today, and LeBron James is like the face of what's going on today, what we're seeing today is just not that, right? And so these are not LeBron James haters. These are just people with standards, you know, people with expectations because of what we've seen, you know. And so that's how that's my take on it. That's how I feel about it. Make sure to like, subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. Let me know what you think, man, especially the LeBron James haters, man. Like I said, not LeBron James haters, but LeBron James fans. You know, just let me know what you think, because I want to know, like, why LeBron James fans have so much blind loyalty, you know, especially if you love the game of basketball, then you got to be able to be fair and impartial when it comes to what people say about, you know, Mike wasn't the greatest person at times. Kobe wasn't, you know, Magic made mistakes. Bird probably made mistakes too. But, you know, I think all of their fan bases can be honest about what these guys what they really meant to the game, you know, all in all. So, like I said, that's my take on it. Make sure to like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. And with that being said, I'll check you all out in the next video. Peace.